Hello students, myself Rafiqul Islam, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology under JIS Group. In this lecture 15, we are going to start multi-level queue scheduling and also another algorithm, that is multi-level feedback queue scheduling algorithm. In previous lecture, we have completed up to round robin scheduling algorithm, and in this lecture we have seen that round robin scheduling algorithm actually starvation free algorithm, and it is suitable for time sharing system. There are a fixed time quantum for each process up to which a process can execute at a time. So round robin is a very fruitful algorithm for time sharing system and also starvation free algorithm. So now in this lecture, the first algorithm which we have to discuss, this is called multi-level queue scheduling. Multi-level queue scheduling. So here the name suggests that here we have more number of queues, that is multi-level queue, that means more number of queues are here. Okay, so here if we categorize the jobs depending upon the requirement of CPU burst or according to the priority, then instead of one ready queue we have multiple ready queues. Okay, so we have multiple ready queues instead of one ready queue. So suppose I categorized the jobs into 4 different queues. Suppose this is one queue. Suppose say this is queue number 1, Q1, and this queue suppose for system process. Suppose we have another queue, this is queue number 2, and suppose this queue is for interactive process. Suppose we have another queue, this is Q3, and say this is for batch process. Say we have another queue, suppose this is Q4, and this is for students process. Okay, and we have suppose one CPU, here we have one CPU, Okay, so instead of one ready queue, here we have multiple number of ready queues. I consider here, suppose in our system there are 4 ready queues, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. And in ready queue 1, we have system processes. In Q2, we have interactive processes. In Q3, we have batch processes. And in Q4, we have student processes. Okay. And here it is very important that this queue actually forming on priority base. Okay, so actually Q1 having the highest priority and Q4 having the lowest priority, right? So if we considering the priority, so this is actually highest priority and this is actually lowest priority. Okay, so Q1 having the highest priority, then Q2, then Q3, and the lowest priority here is Q4. Okay, so this is actually the basic structure of this multi-level queue scheduling. Multiple queues are there and arranging in a particular group and according to their priority. And there are some important points on this algorithm which we have to discuss actually. So here the first important point is here each queue having its own scheduling algorithm. Here each queue having its own scheduling algorithm, and we can apply same scheduling algorithm for all queue. We can apply same scheduling algorithm for all queue. Suppose all are using round robin. All are using round robin, right? It is possible, or we can apply the different scheduling algorithm for different queue. Suppose this is using round robin, so interactive process using suppose SRTF, or a batch process using suppose FCFS. This is suppose FCFS or FCFS, and this is students process suppose using SJF. Okay, so here each queue having its own scheduling algorithm, and we can apply the same algorithm for different queue, or we can apply the different algorithm for different queue. Actually all depends on the implementation. How we can use the scheduling technique for each queue, it is actually the implementation factor. Okay, so this is very important point. And now the next point is actually I will take a job from Q2 for execution only when Q1 is empty. So if Q1 is empty, if there are no process in Q1, that time we can consider a process from Q2. When the Q1 is empty, then we have to go Q2. And after the completion of Q2, then we can only go to Q3. And after the completion of Q3, then we have to access a process from Q4. Okay, so I will take a job from Q2 for execution only when Q1 is empty. That means if we have a job in Q1, that is executed first. Similarly, when we'll come to Q3, actually I ensure that Q1 and Q2 are empty. And when Q1, Q2 and Q3 all are empty, then only we can start execution for Q4. Okay, so this is very important point. When we start execution for Q4, then must we have to ensure that Q1, Q2 and Q3 all are empty. Okay, so this is also very important point. And now the next point, if a process is assigned to a particular queue, if a process is assigned to a particular queue, suppose a process P is assigned Q1, then during its execution, that process cannot change its queue. So during its lifetime, P cannot switch from one queue to another queue. Okay, so here the migration is not allowed. This is very important point. In this algorithm, we can't push a process from one queue to any other queue. So here a process is permanently assigned to a particular queue. We can't change the queue during its execution. So this is also very important point. And the next point about multi-level queue scheduling, actually it does not take care of dynamic nature of the jobs. Okay, so we can say it is just like a static algorithm. So here no facility to check the dynamic nature of a process or of a job. Okay, permanently assigned in a queue. We can't migrate the process from one queue to another queue. Okay, so here no dynamic nature concept. Now in this algorithm, actually it is easy to implement, but here we have a starvation problem exists. In this algorithm, starvation problem exists because we can only execute a process from Q4. We can only execute a process from Q4 when Q1, Q2 and Q3 all are empty. So obviously processes at Q3 or Q4 will be starved. Okay, suppose in this queue we have a process P6, and in between P6, suppose a process arrived in Q1. Okay, so obviously first we have to execute Q1, and now in between a process again arrives in Q2. So obviously we have to execute this process in Q2. So actually the process P6 will be starved. Okay, so here the starvation problem exists. Okay, so this is all about multi-level queue scheduling. So here the important point is we have multiple number of queues are there, and the queues are forming on its priority. The Q1 is highest priority and Q4 is lowest priority. Each queue having its own scheduling algorithm. It may be same algorithm or different algorithm? Next, we can execute Q4 if only Q1, Q2 and Q3 are empty, and here no migration concept are there. This is very simple. Here we have no dynamic nature of jobs and starvation problem exists. Okay, so this is multi-level queue scheduling algorithm. And here the problems is migration facility and starvation. And those problems can be solved by multi-level feedback queue scheduling. Okay, so the next algorithm which we have to discuss, this is actually multi-level feedback queue. Multi-level feedback queue scheduling. So here we have only feedback facility are there. Okay, so basically using this algorithm we can consider the dynamic nature of process. Here we can consider the dynamic nature of process, and here again I have multiple number of queues, but now with the provision that I can move the job from one queue to another. So here I can move the job from one queue to another. So suppose we have a queue, suppose this is Q1, we have another queue, this is Q2, we have another queue, this is suppose Q3, we have three queues suppose. Okay, so whenever a job enters the system for the first time, the job is always put in the queue number 1. The job is put always in queue number 1. Okay, so whenever a job enters the system for first time, then let me assume I don't know what is the nature of the job, whether it is CPU bound or IO bound. So I simply put it into queue number 1. Okay, so I simply put it into queue number 1, and suppose in all queue we have round robin scheduling algorithm. So suppose in all queue we have round robin scheduling algorithm, and suppose here the time quantum is equal to 2 milliseconds, here the time quantum is equal to suppose 5 milliseconds, and here the time quantum greater than 5 milliseconds, suppose 10 milliseconds. Okay, and so here we are using round robin scheduling algorithm. Okay, so now if the CPU burst of the job, suppose job P, if the CPU burst of the job or process is less than 2 milliseconds, that means the CPU burst of the job is complete before the timer interrupt comes. So the job remains in queue number 1. But if the CPU burst is greater than 2 milliseconds, if the CPU burst is greater than 2 milliseconds, then I will push the job in next queue. So I will push the job in next queue, that is queue number 2. And if the CPU burst is greater than 5 milliseconds, then obviously I will push the job into the next queue, that is queue number 3. So here I can push the job from Q2 to Q3 and so on. Okay, so this is actually multi-level feedback queue scheduling algorithm. So here we can push the job from one queue to any other queue. Okay, so here upward pushing is not normally used, but it can be done. Here upward pushing is not normally used, but it can be done. Okay, so this is actually multi-level feedback queue algorithm. Okay, so it is actually the variation of round robin algorithm. It is one of the variation of round robin algorithm, and it is actually the modification of multi-level queue scheduling. It is the modification of multi-level queue scheduling, and obviously here the cost for implementation is very high. Design issue is very complex here, but here it is a starvation free algorithm. It is a starvation free algorithm. So here we have no starvation problem. Okay, so this is all about multi-level feedback queue scheduling algorithm. Okay, so actually here we have completed the process scheduling algorithms. We have no more process scheduling algorithm here. Okay, so basically we studied, actually just review it, we studied actually FCFS algorithm, shortest job first SJF algorithm. We studied the preemptive version of SJF, that is SRTF algorithm, shortest remaining time first algorithm. We studied here next priority algorithm. We studied round robin algorithm. We studied multi-level queue algo, and we studied multi-level feedback queue algo. Okay, so this is basically non-preemptive. This is actually non-preemptive. This is the preemptive version of SJF, so it is preemptive. This is either non-preemptive or preemptive. This is pure preemptive algorithm. Okay, so this is actually non-preemptive. This is multi-level feedback. This is actually using round robin algorithm. So here also we can using round robin. This is non-preemptive or preemptive. So multi-level feedback queue scheduling actually preemptive. Okay, so this is actually algorithm, and the starvation actually round robin algorithm and multi-level feedback queue algorithm. These two algorithm actually starvation free algorithm. Starvation free algorithm. Okay, sometimes they ask a question, which one is starvation free algorithm? So round robin and multi-level feedback queue actually starvation free algorithm. In FCFS we have convoy effect, just like starvation. SJF, SRTF, we have round priority algorithm, we have starvation problem. So round robin and multi-level feedback queue actually starvation free algorithm. Okay, so this is the all about process scheduling algorithms. Now actually in our next lecture we have to study the module 3, and in this lecture 15 we have completed, up to lecture 15 we have completed the module 2. Okay, so in our next lecture we have to study module 3. In lecture 16 we are going to start the module 3, and we know that in this module we have two parts. One is process synchronization and another is deadlock. So we have to complete first process synchronization, critical section problem, and after that we have to study deadlock problem. Okay, so next lecture we are going to study the critical section problem, that is process synchronization problem. So now today thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and thank you once again.